Hi, my name is Colbier and let's start with Ravenbound. This game looks so good, it's almost too good to be true, and sadly it is. Despite being a single-player open-world exploration game where you swing your sword like the most experienced switcher left and right, this game has one feature you probably wouldn't like. It's a roguelike game. Yeah, meaning that you will die and die and die again, and those deaths will make you stronger. Usually in roguelike games you are going through the same path again and again, just with all the weapons and other gear you collected before you decided to feed the worms. But this is an open world, so I wonder, can you choose to go to another direction every time? If so, that may not be such a bad thing after all. Stormrite. This is an open-world action RPG set in a dark fantasy medieval kingdom of Redreach. You will play the role of a young squire exploring a world full of chaos, monsters, and mysteries. You will be able to become an expert assassin, learn the arts of dark magic, or lead your armies into large-scale war against those who put pineapple in their potato salad. Game has multiple endings to all quest lines and rich character tree to decide how to interact with the environment and its inhabitants. Game looks really beautiful, so let's hope for the best. Oden. This is an open-world dark fantasy action RPG inspired by the places and culture of Sardinia. You will explore, discover and decipher ancient mysteries, roam the gloomy world and explore the places described by your father, crossing a land destroyed by wars and corruption. Game will also provide a sheer amount of puzzles where you will have to manipulate time to solve them. Also some cool skills like swapping places with an adversary to take tactical advantage, opening portals in space-time to redirect enemy bullets, or slowing down time to dodge and counter incoming attacks. Oden is an indie game, so don't expect miracles, but sometimes even indies have more power in them than boring AAA titles. Gothic 1 Remake. Our beloved Gothic games are being reborn once again. You will return to the colony, rediscover the world of the mining town, its secrets and its challenges. I must stress out that this is not a simple remaster where everything just gets HD sugarcoating and more modern looking visuals, but a complete remake, meaning that they are creating this game from scratch with a modernized combat system and other cool things we're used to have in nowadays games. Well, let's hope that this remake will be way better than kinda lame already released playable teaser version. Great graphics is just one side of the coin, the other two sides are the story and gameplay itself. Yeah, development coin has three sides, deal with it. Bleak Faith Forsaken. This is obviously a Souls-like game, but it has a lot of traits that could be interesting for Witcher fans. And I'm not just talking about cool third-person combat. You will be able to explore an entire dark and gloomy open world where your actions and choices have consequences. RPG progression will also play a huge role here. Several totally different classes await for your gentle touch. Basically, Bleak Faith looks like a crossbreed between Elden Ring, Witcher, and, as it seems, even Shadow of the Colossus. Definitely a game to put into a wishlist. Trail of Ayash. It is an open-world game focused on the indigenous people of America, their struggles and their stories in the pre-Columbian era. You will embark on an adventure in a land dominated by myths and legends. Here tribes engage in diplomacy, expansion and war. That alone can make for a compelling gaming experience, but there is something more. Something much darker that lurks in the forests and wilderness. In the corner of your eye you can see that you are not alone in these woods. Here live monsters from the creepiest legends you have never heard. To survive alongside your fellow tribals, you will have to battle the stuff of nightmares. If you like what you see, keep in mind that you can try and play the prologue version on Steam absolutely free. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. This is an open-world RPG filled with complex quests in which your decisions matter and your choices are respected. Developers are promising a vast world full of monsters, fallen heroes and exciting places to discover. Dark storyline will require you to balance the shades of grey without any good answers. Looks like the game draws a lot of inspiration from Elder Scrolls franchise, and that is never a bad thing. First-person exploration is definitely the best for immersion. If you disagree, just download that first-person mod for The Witcher free. It's called Gerwent First Person. You will be amazed, I promise. Ardenfall From all indie titles with lame graphics I have found while making this list, Ardenfall looks like the most promising one. That is if you can play games with graphics like that, but you know, the more I look, the more I like it. Ardenfall is a choice-based RPG with a world of devious politics and ancient cultures. Here you can join a powerful guild and work your way up from a nobody to a legend, just like in Elder Scrolls games, and explore a varied world of interesting monsters and locations. A demo version is available on Steam for you to try, so if you're interested, don't hesitate and download it absolutely free. Knights and Outlaws. This is a story-driven RPG adventure where you take on the role of a simple peasant who has a chance to change his destiny. Every choice brings you closer to becoming a respected and glorious knight or a despised and fearsome outlaw. Fight for honor and save the innocent, or steal from the poor and give everything to the rich. Or something like that, you know, like the government in the real world. Here you'll find a challenging combat system where you will have to outsmart your adversary, find his weak spots and exploit them. This is especially important when fighting duels with other knights. You can defeat them honorably or, you know, cheat, like your wife. Crimson Desert. Most people mistakenly think that Black Desert MMORPG is the first part of upcoming Crimson Desert. Well, it is, but it's not.
What?
Shut up. It seems like Crimson Desert mainly will be a single-player focused experience, and the multiplayer part of the game is not confirmed at all, to be honest. All the talks have been focused on the story and the setting of Crimson Desert, where you will take on the role of a mercenary named Macduff, who, together with his companions, will try to survive in this dangerous land. The release date was delayed for a few times now, and it may only mean that the game's development is running into problems. Well, let's hope for the best. Crimson Desert looks like a real treat for any Witcher fan. The Wayward Realms. This is one of the titles I'm really excited for because of the developers involved. It's directed by two guys who were in charge of a team behind the Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, so it is being made by some really old dudes. The Wayward Realms will be an open-world fantasy RPG where choice, consequence, scope and role-playing will be experienced in the realistically scaled world in the new class of game, the Grand RPG. It is set on a group of over 100 realistically scaled islands, known collectively as the Archipelago, where scores of factions vie for influence and power. Not much of actual gameplay is available yet, the game is in the early stages of development. Map of Materials. This indie game was already released, but after receiving some sobering feedback, the developer decided that he should rethink his hasty decision and upgrade the game with more material. So we can't buy it anymore, instead we can play a free demo version and wait for the full release. To be honest, we won't be actually waiting for it, the game looks kinda sad, like something that should have been released 15 years ago. But hey, not everything is graphics nowadays. Maybe new upgraded gameplay of Map of Materials will knock us out of our socks, maybe it will have a brilliant role. We'll see what the future holds. Avowed. The game was announced 2 years ago, and after this CGI trailer, nothing new ever came out. The whole situation reminds me of Elder Scrolls 6 and that infamous Bethesda's announcement where we saw some mountains from above. By the way, that was 4 years ago. Yeah, at this point I can almost feel the disrespect both Bethesda and Oblivion show to the players by announcing their projects so early. I don't know, maybe Avowed is not even in the works, nobody has seen anything, and believing in rumors is just plain stupid. Is Microsoft to blame for this? Maybe, we'll see. But this is the last time I feature Avowed in any of my lists before actual gameplay shows up. Lilium. Well, I have no other words to describe the game as just poor man's Skyrim. I'm not saying that this is a bad game or something, I just raised the question. If you are a lone indie developer, maybe, just maybe you don't want to recreate the game that actually cost $100 million to make. Anyway, if you are not some AAA game maniac, Lilium looks kinda cool, to be honest. As a game created by one man, it feels decent enough to grab my attention. Especially because it has a feature I love the most in the Elder Scrolls franchise. Here you develop your character as you play, meaning that you get faster by running a lot or get tougher by taking a lot of damage. That is awesome. Greedfall 2: The Dying World. first part has only 77% of positive review score on Steam, so maybe part 2 can do better. This time you play as a native uprooted by force from your island and taken to the continent of colonists. In this old world ravaged by war and scarred by the plague and political scheming of the different factions, you need to regain your freedom and control of your own destiny. Here every choice has an impact on your adventure. Diplomacy, manipulation, infiltration and combat are all viable paths for you to achieve your aims. While no actual details are given to us so far, release date is also somewhere in the shadows, but I'll keep an eye on this game, so stay with my channel and you won't miss anything. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. This is undoubtedly one of the most impressive games in this list. You'll explore a dangerous open world, journey through the desert sands, dive into cavernous ruins and unveil the secrets that lie in the towering city of Dawn. The game is presented as a dark fantasy story-rich open world hack-and-slash RPG where choices matter. All that sounds really cool. You'll also have a cool foxish companion that allows you to fly for short moments of time, and in your arsenal you will have not only melee weapons but some firearms as well. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time, bye.